Hello everyone, I'm James Milan with Arlington Public News. For those of you who have been watching Arlington Public News newscasts for a while, and we know you're out there, you may be familiar with the name of my guest today, Aaron Walck. Aaron was one of our prize interns up till he left us in May of 2014. He spent most of his last months while a student at Tufts interning here at Arlington Public News. And then he went off on an adventure, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So Aaron, thanks so much for coming on in.
Thanks for having me, James.
It's a real pleasure to see you again.
It's all mine.
Explain to our audience, where have you been for the last number of months and what have you been up to?
For 6 months, from June of 2014 to December of 2014, I was backpacking solo through South America, from Uruguay on the Atlantic coast towards the south to Ecuador on the Pacific coast up in the northern corner.
What brought about, though, the idea? Had it been long in gestation for you, this idea of heading off on a solo adventure of this sort? Or?
For a couple of years beforehand, I had the idea of, you know, when I'm done with college, I'm not going to be completely ready to enter the job force, and that's a special time right afterwards where people my age who have the opportunity to take some time for themselves can go do something like what I did and, you know, not harm themselves too much in the job market or not, you know, come back too late. Mm-hmm. So I figured, you know, why not? It's one of those things that I didn't know exactly why I was doing it when I was doing it, but it just felt right, and looking back, I don't regret a thing.
What are some of the notable things that either happened to you or that you took part in?
Well, I got lucky, actually, because although I didn't get to go to Brazil for the World Cup, I was in Argentina when they played in the finals, and needless to say, that was a bit of a riot. In multiple senses of the word. Mm-hmm. So that was something that I'm probably never going to be able to see again. That was really cool. Even though they lost, they went crazy. And there were a few just sites naturally that were phenomenal. And some of them were world famous, like the salt flats in Bolivia, where you can see essentially for miles around of just plain salt surface. That's incredible. And I'd say the highlight of the trip in total would have been going to the Amazon. It's just so vast. The river, you can read as much as you want about it. You can see it on television. But once you're swimming in it, it looks a lot bigger than it does on a screen.
So anything surprising on the negative side?
I'd say the most difficult surprise would be just that extended period of time by yourself, traveling constantly. I didn't think about it beforehand and think it would be very difficult, but after months of not necessarily having the most contact with people that you're familiar with, it gets a little difficult.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. For Arlington Public News, I'm James Milan.